Hey, everybody, this is Marshawn Olaniyo of Love Restored. You are watching Love Restored on KCCR, the Brownstone. I'm so excited to be here. So I just want to first thank you for taking the time out of your day. For this next 30 minutes, we are going to be talking about the top 10 biggest lessons that I personally learned throughout my lifetime. Now, I started Love Restored because just like many of you out there, we did not get the tools, the tips, the strategies, the information, or access to information that we could use in our love lives. Many of you that look like me have come from broken homes or have seen your parents either marry and divorce. They might have married, divorced, and then got remarried as well as divorced. They may have never gotten married. Again, we have yet to have a lot of positivity around many of us. Did I say all? No, absolutely not all of us have experienced this, but plenty of us and enough of us have experienced broken homes where it has become an epidemic within our community. And so I started Love Restored to start imparting these tips, imparting these tools, imparting this information so you can no longer say that you don't have the information. Now it's time to come gather the information, come get what you need and apply it to your life. Come get what you need and share this information not only with yourself, not only with your circle, but also your children, your children's children, your nieces, your nephews, anybody that looks like you, and outside of us as well, because the information can be used outside of the community. But because you are listening to this radio station, KCCR, the Brownstone, guess what? We are telling our story our way. So if it has impacted you, then more than likely friends and family members, it has also impacted them as well. And so let's go ahead and jump into the top 10 lessons that I personally learned throughout my lifetime, because maybe you have experienced these things as well. And then maybe you haven't, but you can also see and really give a sympathetic or even an empathetic ear as well as eye to say, ah, I can understand what's actually happening from her point of view. I sympathize. But then you want to come get the information so you do not have to experience it, because I truly believe that the things that we experience, the things that you are or have experienced, are not for you. Yes, you went through it. Yes, you felt the pain. Yes, you felt the anger. Yes, you felt the angst and all of the things that come with it, but it's not for you. It is for you to be able to come out on the other side, meaning you figured out how to get through that thing. You came out on the other side, you're better, and now you're able to impart this information to the people around you. In this case, I'm talking about breaking those generational curses that have been plaguing our community for way too long. So we are all about breaking the generational curses here, but as well as getting and gathering the information that you need to be better people, to be a better woman, to be a better mom, to be a better wife, to be a better husband, because I know that there are some men that listen to Love Restored as well. The first lesson that I learned in my lifetime is that everyone is not meant to travel this road with you. So every phase of your life, you will meet people. You will gather together with groups of people that you deem as friends, and they only last a season. Now, is that everybody? Absolutely not. There are fair weather friends, which are the friends that you meet for a season, and at some point, they are no longer a part of your life. And then you have lifelong friendships. Now, I actually have both. However, I'm getting to a stage in my life where I have been more accustomed to attracting the lifelong friends versus the fair weather friends. The fair weather friends, for me personally, I had to realize that I was the one who was pretty much carrying those relationships. And what I mean by that is, in this day and age of technology where we have texting, talking on the phone, we have email, we have FaceTime, WhatsApp, and all of these other avenues. Oh, and then social media where you can call people and get in contact with them as well. So we have all of these avenues to get in contact with people. Well, just because we can get in contact with people, we don't have a lot of the face to face interaction that brings the bond apart, or spending time in the same place with the same person at the same time. And even nowadays, some people have a tendency to only want to text. They hardly ever want to call. They hardly ever want to meet face to face unless it's always something fun. So that sitting together, that getting to know you, that really coming together and putting their heads together about what you want to do, the next phase of your life, or what are some of your goals, some of your dreams, some of your inspirations, some people that you can call to lean on when you need that shoulder, to cry, to just get things off of your chest. A lot of that is dying out. And so I had to learn that for me, those people are considered fair weather friends because I was the one that was carrying the relationship. I was the one that was initiating the contact. I was the one who was always saying, hey, do you want to meet up? Hey, when is the next time we are going to meet up? Hey, I haven't heard from you. Or how are you? Or whatever the thing is. Or let me put you on my calendar. And at some point, I got sick and tired of doing that. And I had to really sit back and say, hey, Marshawn, who are your real friends? And what my definition of friendship is and what it looks like to me. And my definition of friendship is somebody that I can call any hour of the night. You might not answer at the point that I need you, but you will absolutely call me back, figure out what was actually happening. Another definition of friendship for me is you just call to say hello. I'm calling to check on you, not I need something from you. Hey, Marshawn, I know you talk about relationships. I'm actually going through something, but that's the only time I hear from you. Or, hey, I'm going through a hard time and you got your hand out because I've helped you before financially. And so now your hand is out a time too many. That's not a friend to me. It's too many times where your hand is out. A friend to me is somebody that I can call and vent to without the judgment, without the shame, without the guilt. Friendship to me is where I can take off my mask because all of us have some type of a mask that we present to the world. Well, I don't want to present my mask to my friends. I want to be me. I want to be goofy Marshawn that's making jokes, that's laughing at everything, but I also can be serious when it's time to be serious. But I don't want to do that all the time. I want to be able to be free and be me. So those are a few things that I deem as friends and friendship. So if some of those actually match up to your definition of friendship, then you can really try to figure out who are your true friends in your life based off of your definition. The second lesson that I learned in life is that I had to love myself before I can even think about a man coming into my life and loving me the way that I needed to be loved. Because here's the thing, at the period of time where I didn't love myself, I would accept a piece of a man or even a piece of a person coming into my life. Because during some of that fair weather friendship that I just mentioned, when those people were not friends, I was allowing some people to treat me certain ways. And none of it was horrible from my standpoint. However, there was things that I should have corrected earlier on instead of allowing them to be spread out over time and me just allowing this frustration and anger to build up. I should have addressed some of those things early on, but I didn't. Right? So I had to understand that, Marshawn, if you don't love you, why would you think that anybody else is going to come in and love you better than you love you? They're not. They're not. So I had to sit with myself, figure out some things that I was doing wrong in my life, including the men that I was attracting to date, including the friendships that I was attracting to me, figure out why that was happening so I can start to correct those areas so that energy that I'm giving off to those people can cease to exist. So those types of people I no longer attract. And at this point, I no longer attract those type of people. I attract people that I consider to be friends. So I had to love me. If you have been following me for any amount of time, then you know that I've had low self-esteem about my skin. I was teased about my skin. Other things that I was teased about is my feet, but specifically my toes, right? My toes are pretty lengthy for them to be toes, right? And the thing that I had to realize is that those things that were brought up became an insecurity for me, which putting me in this box of you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough. Why would somebody want to be with you? You have to impart this beautiful thing, meaning my body. You have to give your body in order for people to accept you. In this case, men. You have to allow certain people to treat you a certain way in order for you to feel accepted into their circle or their clique. No, because guess what? If something doesn't sit right with me, I should be able to say that does not sit right with me and own it. But at the time, that's not what I was doing. The third lesson that I learned in life was that saying no is a complete sentence. I had to say no to keep my sanity in check. I had to say no because that's what made me happy, which was also making me healthy. I could not be or even continue to be the yes person. I had to realize that no is a complete sentence, that I do not have to explain my no if I don't want to. Now, if I feel like I want to, then I can, but I'm not explaining my no because I fear hurting your feelings, or I fear the guilt or the shame feelings that's going to come over me because of the way that I made you feel by saying no to you. I had to become more aware of what I needed. And then when it did not work out for me or what I wanted to do in that moment, be okay with my no. And understand that I still can't be a part of everything that is happening in life anyway. So saying no, I had to realize that no was a must for my sanity. The fourth lesson that I learned, ladies and gentlemen, was that being able to be alone by myself was the best thing that I ever done for me. See, I come from a large family where I am the fifth of seven siblings. So I was always around people my entire life. I was always around extended family my entire life. Then I joined the United States Navy at the age of 18. So I was around a whole lot of people then as well. And then right after that, I got married at the age of 21 around my husband all the time. So I was never around Marshawn. I was never really alone because even at the time when I was younger and I would kind of be in my room, I shared a room with one of my siblings. So I was never alone in the military, never alone. When I got married, hardly ever alone, other than us working apart and all that other stuff that comes with it. But I never really got a chance to understand who Marshawn was just by myself. Who was the real Marshawn? I had to say, Marshawn, stand up. I had to figure all of that out. So me being alone and being able to sit in a space all by myself was the best thing I did for myself because I was able to hear me. I'm so used to hearing all of these voices because when you're in a household of seven children plus two adults, so that's nine people, and then I also grew up with one of my first niece. So what is that? That's 10 people in one household. It's a lot of noise all the time. So after going through all my entire life until I was 27. So at the age of 27, I finally got to hear only my voice. And that's when I really honed in on who Marshawn, was. That was the best gift I gave to myself because then I could make my own decisions. I could walk my own path. If there is not a path, I can create a path. I don't have to worry about what other people think I should do. I can make my decisions about the life that I want to create and be a part of. I was able to say, you know what? I want to move back home. Because at the time, I was getting a divorce And my parents were like, she was telling all my siblings to call me and say, move back home. And I had to make a decision. At the time I was working on my bachelor's degree, I was not done. And if I moved away, pretty much I would have to start all over. So this is years wasted. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And of course, this did not sit well with my mom because I didn't know anybody in the city other than my husband. And a few friends that I made, but I didn't know anybody but him. So she was like, what? You not moving back home? And I was just like, that's an emphatic no. And I had to stand on that, in that. That was my decision. That was my voice. It was my choice. And I had never done that because there was so much going on in my entire life with all of these people around me all the time. So from the day I'm born until 27 is when I finally start to really get to know me. And that was the best thing I could have done for myself. And if you have yet to sit in silence and really figure out and hear your voice, the things that come up when it's very quiet, especially at night when the world is just about quiet, this is when a lot of people do harmful things to themselves. And you can take harmful however you want to take harmful. But if you notice a lot of these things that happen, the bad stuff that we do to ourselves, as well as get in, usually happens at night. And it's because a lot of people don't want to deal with the voices that they hear, the stuff that comes up in their mind. It starts to drive people crazy, and then they go out there and get themselves into trouble by doing dumb stuff. The things that they're going to feel guilty about later on, and the things that they're going to be ashamed of for doing later on. These are the things that get people in trouble. And I hope that it doesn't get you in trouble. We got to be able to deal with this stuff. It was the best thing that has ever happened to me. The gift that I gave myself by just sitting in silence and being alone with myself and being alone with my thoughts, and then actually figuring out why I had these thoughts about the stuff that comes up when it's quiet. You got to deal with your stuff too. This is how you start to get the healing that most of us need to get, by dealing with the stuff that's coming up. Because when you're so busy, you can't hear yourself. You're just going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. You got to be able to sit still. And that sitting still in the beginning may just be 2 minutes, and then increase to 5 minutes, and then maybe 7 minutes, and then maybe like literally incremental. So you can get used to being by yourself in silence. So a lot of the answers that you have questions to can get answered during this quiet time. Now let's take a break, because I'm going ham and I'm going down a roller coaster and I can feel it. But guess what? You are listening to Love Restored on KCCR The Brownstone. I am your host, Marshawn Olanio. If you have yet to download the apps on all of your smart devices, and I implore you to do just that. That is how you're going to be able to keep up with all of the personalities here on the Brownstone Worldwide. If you have yet to visit the website, visit it, brownstoneworldwide.com. And if you have yet to order and participate in ordering your magazine, that I employ for you to do that as well. It's called Brownstone Living. It is our digital magazine. If you want to take part in that every single month, then I have my link somewhere down below in the show notes, somewhere where you can click on it. Now, I have to tell you, it is affiliate link, which means that when you download and participate in this monthly, that I will receive a small portion of the total amount. The magazine per month, the digital copy, is only $5.99, y'all. So if you want to take a part in that, I implore you to click on the link and get that right up in there. Because here's the thing, you're not going to be able to get a magazine like this anywhere. Like, it's a full, beautiful spread that I take part in. And you might even see a guest in there real soon. Okay? Hint, hint. So get your copy, because when you sign up, the first time that you sign up, you're going to receive last month's copy as well as this month's copy. That's two for the price of one. And it's really pennies for sure, because one per month is $5.99. All right, so go ahead and check that out as well. Now let's jump into, or I should say, continue with lesson number 5. When I recognize that my worth was a game changer in this thing that I call my life, I had to realize how worthy I am here now. The person that I am becoming, that I am showing up as, and the person that other people get to see as the go-getter. I am worthy. And I had to deal with the insecurity of all of the stuff, the junk that other people was trying to put on me, allow all of that stuff to roll up off of me. I had to let that roll up off of me and understand that I am worthy. I have a voice. I have a story. I have something worthy to say. And there are people out there that want to hear my voice. And if I don't get my voice out there, then I could be killing somebody else's future. And that's how much I believe I am worth, that I'm not only saving my soul and my life, I am saving countless other people's souls and their lives by me just opening up and sharing who I am, why I am. And even my come ups as well as my downfalls, because I am not perfect, nor am I saying that I'm perfect, but I know that I am worthy enough to come here and be able to share these 10 lessons with you. Because here's the thing, my 10, you may have experienced a few of my 10, but you got some others that you could put on your own list. And maybe this will encourage you enough to go out there and share your 10 with somebody else, the people and tribe that you encourage yourself. You are worthy. I am worthy. We worthy. Number 6, 666. I kind of spoke about it, but I really want to drive this point home, which is I stopped chasing friends and friendships. I stopped making sure that I was the person that always called. What I did is very simple. I didn't have a conversation with any of these people. What I did to see who was my true friends is I simply stopped calling. I simply stopped texting. I simply stopped trying to see when we were going to meet again. And then I waited to see how long it was going to take for my phone to ring from their number. How long was it going to be for them to call and just check up on me and not need anything? So I had to figure out those friends. I had to stop chasing the people. And even when I was dating, I had to stop chasing the men because I wanted them to choose me. Choose me, choose me, choose me. But all of that stopped once I realized the worth that I was bringing to the table, including the fair weather friends. And here's the thing, like I said, I didn't have no conversation because I didn't. What I did was when those people never called, they just moved themselves out of my life. And that's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it. And you have to be too. Number 7, the 7th lesson that I learned is that people will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. People will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. And so, because I didn't like the way I was being treated in some instances, I either had to speak up or I had to walk away completely. And I chose to do both in many instances because you can't just treat me any kind of way. Because when you know that you are worthy and worth something, you no longer allow people to treat you any kind of way. You no longer allow people to just take your time for granted. You no longer allow people to, turn their back on you without speaking up. You no longer allow people to just walk over your boundaries. None of that is occurring anymore because I had to realize if I keep allowing said person to say this to me, if I keep allowing said person to, treat me this way and not do X, Y, and Z, whatever the thing is, you fill in your own blank, they're going to keep doing it. Because contrary to my words, I'm saying that I don't like this thing, but I keep allowing you to do it. So let's go with cheating because everybody knows about cheating, right? So if I am the girlfriend and my boyfriend keeps cheating on me, we've had a conversation where I told him, if you cheat on me, this X, Y, and Z is going to happen, right? So we've had the conversation and then he goes out and cheats on me. And then I said that X, Y, and Z was going to happen, but I don't enforce X, Y, and Z. Then he's not believing that X, Y, and Z is going to happen. He's like, oh, okay. She says she don't like it, but her X, Y, and Z was leaving or kicking him out, whatever. And she didn't leave, nor did she kick me out. So it must be okay. Even that sounds stupid, but it must be okay because you didn't enforce your boundaries. So if you didn't enforce your boundaries, why would I have to enforce your boundaries for you? No, if I can have my cake and eat it too, then I'm going to do that because we people will do what we can do if you allow us to do it. So in this case, you say that you don't want me to cheat on you, but you allow me to cheat on you because you never enforce your consequences, then you're essentially saying that you're okay with me cheating on you. So people will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. If you never have a conversation because you're scared of the way that they're going to react or what they're going to say back to you, and you never have this conversation, that's your fault. No longer their fault, your fault. Number 8, I realize that you are going to get hurt in this life. You are going to get hurt. And it does not matter who you are going to get hurt by. You are going to get hurt by your spouse or partner, significant other. You're going to be hurt by your child or children. You're going to be hurt by your friendships. You're going to be hurt by strangers. You are just going to be hurt. Things are not always going to go your way all the time. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, at some point you will be hurt in this life. You will not like that something occurred to you, but it is up to you with how you deal with those situations that come over your life. The ninth thing that I learned, the ninth lesson that I learned is that nobody is coming to save you but you. You are the only person that has the power to save you. Now, I say save you, but I'm really thinking and believing that it's co-saving. I say co-saving because I am a believer in Jesus Christ. And so absolutely I believe that God has a hand over my life. And so I'm co-creating my life with God. My life only unfolds the way that it's supposed to fold according to his plan. So that's why I say right? But nobody's coming to save you. You are your own savior. You have to be willing to save yourself if and when nobody shows up at your door. Which brings me to point number 10. I am the only person that can get my finances in order. Nobody can help me get my finances in order. I can listen to all of the financial advice out there, but if I never take the actions to do anything about my finances, they will always be down in the muck and mire. I will always have my hand out. I will always have to get a lender to loan some money to me or some type of credit to me in order for me to be able to move forward in life. But it's that really moving forward when you have to owe money back to the person. I literally had to leave a message to one of my nieces today, the day that I'm recording this, because she always has her hand out. And I just lovingly shared a message that I want to say to you. Nobody is coming to save you financially. Go through your go through, which is if you are broke, stop asking all these people for money. Stop going to get credit cards. Stop going to get loans because guess what? Soon as you get the next paycheck, you are broke again because now you got to pay off all these lenders. And guess what? You are in the cycle once again. We have to grow up and take ownership for our own lives and the way that we are living our lives, financially included. I could have said something about physically. It's a lot of lessons that we learn in life. These are my top 10 lessons. Now, I want to hear what some of your lessons are. And just thank you for being here for these 30 minutes, because you could have been anywhere. But instead, you decided to be here with your girl, Marshawn Olanio, on Love Restored with KCCR Radio. Now, I want to say, if you want to reach out to me outside of KCCR, then visit my website at www.marshawno.com. Again, that's www.marshawno.com. Again, if you have yet to download the apps on all of your smart devices, then go ahead and do that so you can keep up with me as well as all of the other beautiful personalities on KCCR Brownstone. Check out the Brownstone Worldwide, which is the website, and absolutely take part in Brownstone Living, which is the newest edition, and it is the magazine for only $5.99 per month. Check out my link. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And I will see you on the next Love Restored. Bye-bye.